Mr. President.
Hello.
I've got a few things I'd like to discuss with you about your re-election campaign. I've assembled some figures for you to use to make some financial decisions. They are in that folder on your desk.
Well, thank you there, Ross. Ross Williams, campaign manager. The Arhos. No, I don't. No, I don't think you. They don't let you go in the Concorde, unfortunately. Now, the one in DC, there are a couple planes that they'll let you go in, but I don't think on this extension that they do, unfortunately. Good evening, RGM, Dr. Slaley. Yes, that is indeed the case, Dr. Shalala. We've got to get reelected in 64.
All right, Ross. Where should we start?
You've got $1 million in your war chest. Campaign contributions are a little low right now, but that's only because you haven't done much campaigning yet. As the season wears on, your contributions will increase, especially if you participate in fundraising events.
Tell me something I don't know, Ross. This isn't my first campaign.
Okay. What do I need to decide right now?
First, you need to determine how much money you want to allocate to advertising. Considering how far away the election is, you probably don't want to allocate very much right now. The second issue is whether you'd like to do some preliminary polling on the other candidates. If you want polling information, you'll need to allocate some funds for that as well. And finally, you need to okay the amount allocated for security.
Excuse me,
if that
I'm
figure
Ross.
is unacceptable
It is
to you,
December,
feel free
no
to
shave
adjust it.
November, regardless of video artifacts, is over.
Thank you for the 120 bits, Bass. How's it going, Sting? No shave November. Was it Movember? Movember. Oh, I can't replay the audio. Damn. All right, so we got a campaign budget worksheet. January 1st, April 26th. Balance forward donations. Only 12 grand donations. We had 1 million, so we have, okay, 1.012 million. We got to determine how many expenses we want. One poll costs $20. Well, then why is my advertising budget so high if it's not time for that yet? Oh, so this is for like what? Q1 plus? Why is it going to April 26th? That seems arbitrary. Oh, is that going through like primary season maybe? We do have a couple leads on the Killer Sting. We know that he has abnormally long eyelashes. So we're all ready to Carmen Sandiego this puppy out. Abnormally long eyelashes. I did refer to the case to Bobby. I'm hoping as Attorney General he runs with that in the FBI, etc. All right, so can I just keep this? Well, probably our expenses are like low, right? How's our ending balance 1.012 million if we're spending 377 grand? We started with 1 million, we're ending with 1 million, and we're spending nearly 400 grand. Why? That math isn't adding up to me. Is that because those expenses haven't been realized yet? I know this is the budget for the upcoming, like, 4 months of the year, but it just seems strange to me. How does this work? We can do it in implements of... Oh. Wow. So I moved it like one thing and then it totally changed. Okay, so now the math adds up. Got it. Polling. I don't know if we need so much polling around the other security. Yeah. Wow. Are you at risk of getting assassinated in the game in a different time? Because that would be incredible. Like, wow. If we could actually get assassinated in a different time and place. Jeez. All right. Well, he said to keep the advertising low, and kind of agree with him. Like, I don't think our Democratic primary opponent is going to cause much of a problem. Maybe we'll bump up the... Oh, you can only do this in increments of 20 grand? Huh. All right, well, let's do 100 grand security. Yeah, we could get re-assassinated. Another attempt on our life. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll do 5 grand across the board or whatever. It's in different increments, but whatever. All right, that leaves us enough time. Hopefully that leaves us enough of a war chest for the second half of the year. Oh, let's just see. Might have to do this again.
I've made my decisions, Ross. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm looking forward to a very successful campaign, and on my way out, I'll schedule a meeting through your secretary to discuss campaign touring with you.
Yeah, thank you, Ross. Do tell Gladys I will see her for dinner next week. What do you have for us, Bobby?
I researched the information in that confidential folder from Strachan. Here's what I found out. How's everything else on the investigation going?
It's not because I have been having to spend my time on other matters, Bobby. This is highly irregular, as I told you last time, for us to be investigating my personal murder attempt. Why is not the FBI handling this?
Terrible. I'm not getting anywhere.
Well, I'll try to help you out whenever I can. I've got a meeting in half an hour. I've got to go.
Oh, I see how it is, Bobby. Your meetings are more important than catching my would-be killer. Hashtag priorities. All right, so what is this, DOJ? A letter from Bill Strachan. It seems that William Strachan is a legitimate private investigator. Here's his address. As for Juggernaut / Dallas, I did some research and found that Juggernaut appears in 3 places in Dallas. Kings Highway, Incorporated Juggernaut Saloon, and the Juggernaut Bicycle Shop in Bayberry Street, all in Dallas. I have no idea who that man is in the picture. The 2 other pictures are of the Dallas County Records Building and Dealey Plaza. Oh, so that was not a photo of Strachan himself. Interesting. Okay. Why do you say that, Ghost? All right. Signed by RFK. Okay. So maybe is that like a potential? That could be the suspect. Should we look at the suspect? We probably should. Saloon, a bicycle shop, and a company. Interesting. Okay, it's just 2 pages. Can we like call somebody up or something or other? Let's call the FBI agent and tell him to like look into this more. Gordon Tompkins.
Tompkins.
Fake name. You should report to us.
Hello, Detective Tompkins? This is Jack Kennedy.
Hello, Mr. President. How can I help you?
I received the FBI folder on the investigation, and I was wondering if you could give me any more information.
I'm afraid that everything we know at this time is in that folder, sir. But we are constantly working to get more information.
It's been a month. What have you been doing?
Will you let me know if you learn anything new?
Of course, sir. The minute we learn anything new, we'll let you know.
All right, so that means I'm not going to reach out to you. You reach out to me. This is how it works.
Thank you for your time, Detective.
Now we have just but 1 scant hour in the day to do something of interest. Highly suspect here. Okay, we still have no poll results available, no travel itinerary, but we do have some financials that came in. 1 poll does cost, $20,000. I thought he was $20. Well now. 1 poll, perhaps $20 to contact 1 person. But I doubt that would be of statistical significance. No change on civil rights, and we got the same troop level in Vietnam. Is our chief of staff here? He is not. Time to watch the television.
And now for our final story. Berliners remember times before the wall was built, times when families were free to visit each other regularly. This Christmas, the Wall of Shame will be open to the free people of the city for the first time since it was built. Tens of thousands of West Berliners are already lining up daily for passes to visit relatives and friends imprisoned behind the wall since the summer of 1961. It is estimated that almost 500,000 people have applied to cross into communist East Berlin during the 16-day period that the wall remains open. So until tomorrow, good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, good night there, Walter Cronkite wannabe. How's it going, boss? Bank robbers in Texas make off with 250 grand. Whoa, tourism in nation's capital at record high. Do you mean capital with an A? Otherwise, if you're not talking about the capital city, you're talking about the Capitol building. If you're spelling with an O, it's the Capitol building, but I'm doubting that would merit front page news. A Brazilian diplomat visit the U.S. I mean, shouldn't we have a permanent ambassador from Brazil here anyway? All right. Let's see if our ratings change at all. December 30th, week 6.
Mr. President, there's a crisis in Panama. You're wanted in the Situation Room right away.
A situation, Sean? What kind of situation do we have? I'm on my way.
Thanks, Sean. I'm on my way.
Mr. President, there's an urgent matter that requires your attention. We have a crisis situation on our hands in Panama. There's been rioting near the Canal Zone, and it took the efforts of American soldiers to restore order. Apparently, the whole thing was set off when some American students living in the Canal Zone raised our flag at their high school. This was in direct opposition to your agreement with President Herdia of Panama, that the Stars and Stripes not be flown without the Panamanian flag right next to it.
As you know, sir, the right of Panama to fly her flag in the zone has been a sensitive subject for some time now. So when those students flew the American flag without Panama's flag, Panamanian students protested. They entered the Canal Zone carrying their country's flag and raised it next to our flag. After the Canal Zone police directed the students back to Panama City, a rumor started that their flag was trampled, causing a riot to break out. Angry Panamanians invaded the Canal Zone. The latest reports indicate that 6 people have died and that over 70 people have been injured. Now, Panama has severed relations with the United States.
This seems premature, General Ballard. Why would they sever relations with us without contacting us first? Clearly, these were the actions of a few young people who do not represent their government. I am greatly concerned with these developments. And most certainly, all pictures of Squeegee and other related characters are welcome here.
I can't believe this. I entered into that agreement with Herdia just last year, and there's already trouble. Then again, what should I expect? We've had trouble over the Canal Zone for the past 30 years.
That's exactly right, Mr. President. The Panamanians resent us because of our sovereignty over the Canal Zone, and because they don't think we pay them enough annually for using the canal. This flag issue is just one more on their list of complaints about the United States.
What suggestions do you gentlemen have?
What do you suggest that I do about this riot, gentlemen?
The way I see it, Mr. President, you have 2 choices. Either you apologize to the Panamanians for the problem and hope that smooths the whole thing over and they forget about it, or you agree to negotiate a new treaty with Herdia that would be more favorable to Panama.
Now hold on there, Paul. The treaty between Panama and the U.S. has already been renegotiated twice since its original signing in 1903. The hell, we just renegotiated the thing 8 years ago. What's the point of signing a contract if you don't stick to it? I say forget 'em. If they want to cut off diplomatic relations, then we should do the same. Let's get our senior officer at the U.S. Embassy out of Panama.
Jim, you know as well as I do that the canal is crucial to us. We use it as a shortcut between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. We needed that canal during World War II and the Korean War, and it was indispensable during the Cuban Missile Crisis. There are even supplies going through the canal right now to help the effort in Vietnam. We can't just pull out of Panama.
Besides, the communists are just waiting for a chance to get in there and take over the canal. Then where would we be? Mr. President, I think you should agree to discuss a new treaty with Panama. Don't make any promises that there will be a new treaty, just agree to discuss the possibility. That should stem the rioting and hopefully set us on a smooth course again. What do you think?
I think we should have, where is my Secretary of State, Arthur? Why am I talking with only military and intelligence figures when we are talking about diplomatic relations? Why is my Secretary of State not here? Why was my campaign manager not in my campaign meeting? Why am I being given advice on issues that are not coming from my advisors who specialize in those areas? Gentlemen, get my Secretary of State right here. What does discuss do? Discuss further?
I think you've got an excellent point, Tom. I don't want to guarantee a new treaty, but I'd be willing to discuss the idea if it would end the rioting.
I'll have that message relayed to President Herdia through the proper channels.
You got it, Tommy. Okay, apparently we made a choice. I didn't realize I was making a choice. I thought it was like discussing it further.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you all, gentlemen. I appreciate your rapid assessment of the situation. I hope we can resolve this whole thing quickly.
We'll keep you updated, Mr. President.
End meeting.
Good. That will be all.
What? It's the end of the day already? Oh, come on. Or the end of the week, jeez. It's the end of the year, for God's sakes. Can you discuss new treaty with Panama? Most racial barriers and housing banned. Bus accident in Ohio leaves 4 injured. Really? That was front page news in Washington? That 4 people were injured in an Ohio bus accident? Really? That's what constitutes major news? Most racial barriers and housing banned. Well, that's good. Alright, yeah, we need to get on that civil rights, don't we? Alright, let's turn on the TV.
On the international news front, West Berliners are lining up by the tens of thousands for their sad retreat across the border, after seeing relatives for the first time since the Wall of Shame was erected in the summer of 1961. The Berlin Wall is being resealed as the 16-day pass agreement comes to an end. On the lighter side of things, the secret? Hard work, plain diet, and plenty of laughter, they say. That's what the French people who live high in the alpine village of Chambéry attribute their long lives to. 38 of 380 residents have a combined age of 3,200 years, an average of more than 84 years. People here don't even think about retiring until they're 90. That's all the news for now, so until tomorrow, good night.
And Godspeed. No there, Max. If I had died, you would know about it with the death counter that's at the top of the screen. Now let me bring in 1964 by giving out a ceremonial Cedric. That's right, RGM.
Mr. President, we're experiencing some difficulties with Panama over your decision to discuss a new treaty.
Oh,
it seems
good
that they
God.
want assurances from us that a new treaty will be negotiated before they'll come to the bargaining table.
Jim's right, sir. President Herdia has issued a statement requiring a full commitment from the U.S. before he will even discuss this with you. I think he's serious, too. This could drag on forever if we stick with the position of just discussing a new treaty. I think you should give Herdia the commitment he's looking for.
And I
have
think
to
you should
disagree with
secure your
Paul on this
lane,
one,
Paul.
Mr. President. Herdia is just trying to see how far he can push us. I don't think we should give in to his demands. I think you should hold out until Herdia comes around. What would you like to do, sir?
I would like my Secretary of State in here so I can actually get an informed opinion, rather than you military bozos. Now, if it's about negotiating or holding out, I think we learned during the Cuban Missile Crisis that I am very adept at holding out and not backing down when I am challenged. So hold out, we shall.
I'm not going to be pushed around by Herdia. I promised to discuss the possibility of a new treaty, and that is exactly what I will do. I won't promise any more than that.
I'll see to it that President Herdia is informed of your decision, Mr. President.
End transmission.
Thanks, Tom. Thank you all for your time.
Like, really, how could they not have had the Secretary of State in that conversation? Yet he was in the campaign discussion. What is he doing advising on our campaign? All right, we do have time to talk about Vietnam, so let's do that. Interesting, our international standing was not affected.
Mr. President, Senator Edwards is here to see you.
Wait a minute. Where's the halfway mark? Maybe it did go up one notch.
Hello, Mr. President.
I think it
Thanks
did.
for seeing me on such short notice.
Yeah, I think they did, Knox. I think you're right. We gotta give out 2 more Cedrics. Oh, yeah. Alright, Josephine. Yeah, what state are you from, doll baby?
Of course, Josephine. What can I do for you?
I just wanted to inform you of what we on Capitol Hill think of your recent decision on Vietnam policy.
Yeah. Alright, I'll humor you on this one, Josephine.
Oh? Well, you know I like to keep in touch with the mood on the Hill. Fire away.
Most of us agree that taking a moderate course is the way to go, and we are behind your decision to remain in an advisory capacity in South Vietnam. It allows us to control the situation without risking American lives.
That is accurate, Josephine. What else do you have to tell us?
How do you think Congress would respond to the idea of sending combat troops to Vietnam?
Without communist provocation, I think it would be a tough sell, especially in an election year.
A tough sell, eh? I agree with that remark. Wait, so Basil, did it go up after December... oh, I haven't been saving, shoot. Did it go up after December 30th? Like, based on our decision on how to handle Panama, I guess?
Yes, you're probably right. I have to move on to other matters. Thank you for your time, Josephine.
All right, Mr. President. Thanks for your time. Goodbye.
Goodbye. What state are you from? I hate to see you go, but I love to see you leave. Physicals to be given to draft registrants. New cigarette to list tar and nicotine content. Racial protests in Alabama and Mississippi. Alrighty then. Okay, let us... oh, if I do a save, am I going to be rewound to the beginning of the day? Yeah, probably not worth risking.
Reflections on the 1963 sports year as it winds down show it as another great one to be remembered. Baseball enjoyed a gala season from opening day when right-hander John F. Kennedy threw out the first pitch right down to the Dodgers' 4-game World Series sweep. Sandy Koufax's strikeout power reduced the mighty Yankees to toothpicks, with his pitching power winning the first and last games of the series for the Dodgers. For the first time ever in the track and field world, John Pennell cleared the 17-foot pole vault barrier. In golf, Jack Nicklaus won the Masters crown to fulfill his promise after winning the Open crown. The Toronto Maple Leafs defeated the Detroit Red Wings to take hockey's Stanley Cup for the 2nd year in a row. So until tomorrow, good night, ladies and gentlemen.
And Godspeed. January 19th, actually. It's no, it is January 14th. Looks like our our approval ratings are just about unchanged. So let's take
no time to play the fool.
It is a time, however, to save our game. 64 January 14th. Yes, Sandy Koufax had a very short but prolific career. Alrighty then, what should we be doing today? Time to get back to some civil rights. We gotta get this bill passed in Congress.
Mr. President,
Yes,
we need
Arthur.
to discuss the civil rights legislation. Right now, the legislation that you proposed back in June is stuck in the House Rules Committee. If we don't do something, the bill could die in that committee.
Alright, do you have a recommendation?
Of course, I don't want that to happen, Bobby. What do you recommend?
Since Gilbert Ornelas, the chairman of the committee, won't even hold hearings on the bill, I think you have no choice but to work around him. That means a petition to bypass the rules panel. If a majority of the House votes for the petition, we can get that bill out of committee and onto the floor for a vote.
If I may interject, Mr. President, I don't think that the
You mean-
discharge petition is the proper way to proceed on this matter.
Your Secretary of
There are quite a
State.
few members of the House who object to bypassing committees, so you might experience difficulty with the discharge petition. I would encourage you to use your persuasive talents to influence Congressman Ornelas to hold hearings on the bill. But of course, the decision is yours.
Yeah. Okay, Arthur. Where were you when we had the Panama crisis? Instead, you are advising me on civil rights legislation when you are this country's top diplomat. Why am I continuing to receive advice from the wrong people? Next thing you know, I'm going to start talking to Fred Coburn, my press secretary, on the best way to change rates at the Federal Reserve. What is this, a amateur hour here? What kind of administration is going on here? What sort of thing are we running? Ornelas, okay. It seems as if I'm going to trust my brother Bobby on this one. Offense, Arthur, offense meant. For I'm going to trust my brother, at least as Attorney General. He is a little bit closer on this civil rights legislation than you.
I'd like to go the discharge petition route. What do I need to do next?
I've given this some thought, Mr. President, and I suggest that you speak with Congressman Daniel Jordan. He's quite well liked on the Hill. I think he's the man to file this petition for us.
Another option is to ask Mark Deering. He's a first-term congressman, and I think he'd be willing to file this petition just because he was personally asked to do it by the president. Who would you like to speak with, sir?
Why would I want a first-termer who's not going to be having much in the way of influence or power? Max99, thank you for that follow. Welcome to my re-election campaign. Jordan or Deering, what were the advantages of Jordan? He was well liked? Liked? Yeah, that's the picture. Alright, let's go, Jordan.
I'll talk to Daniel Jordan. Sam, can you set up a meeting for me?
Certainly, sir.
When you speak to the congressman, Mr. President, bear in mind that you can ask him to influence Ornelas if you change your mind about the petition.
That's enough out of you, Arthur. Next time, show up to our Panama meetings.
I'll keep that in mind, Arthur. Now, if there's nothing else to discuss, I'd say that this meeting is adjourned.
Alright. right now. We have about 4 hours. Why don't we use this time to go back downstairs and see what can be seen in that, you know, our special place. Alright, that was the thing on this. This was the diagram that told us where the passage was. We know it's 1935. Where was the book that had the... No, not this one. Was it up here? Yeah. Okay, so F is red, yellow, blue. Justice. C, yellow, blue, red. Spies. Command equals mail. I still don't... We're gonna have to experiment with that interface. Okay. Can we go down here? We can. Do we have any mail? Mail system not accessible. So does that mean we have to... Oh. So maybe we have to change those, like, wires first? Let's see how this works. An alchemy day. Alright, okay. So, F, red, yellow, blue. So it has something to do with these switches, right? So this is line F. Can we change... We can't change where these are plugged in, can we? No, we can only change the switches. Red, yellow, blue. So, and we can't press these buttons, F and C. So F equals red, yellow, blue. So that's like red on. Wait a minute. C, this is row C maybe? So they're all in row C. What if we did, oh, I can't change this one for whatever reason. Yellow, blue, red. Oh. Oh, C came on. All right, and that means spies. Do I type spies into the computer now? See? Damn it. Well, the light C came out. Oh, I hit escape. God damn it. I was trying to get out of the scene. I didn't know escape would quit the game. Wow. All right. Well, good thing we saved on that day at least. Hey there, Bagel. I am not knowing who you are addressing this, John F. Kennedy. Debauchery Dungeon, otherwise known as our man cave.
Hello, Mr. President.
Hello there, Bobby. Now this means we're gonna have to do our civil rights meeting all over again.
Mr. President, we need to discuss the civil rights legislation. Right now, the legislation that you proposed back in June is stuck in the House Rules Committee. If we don't do something, the bill could die in that committee.
You're right there, Marx. Arthur is on the hot seat. He's advising in matters that don't concern him, and then he's MIA in matters that do.
Of course, I don't want that to happen, Bobby. What do you recommend?
Since Gilbert Ornelas, the chairman of the committee, won't even hold hearings on the bill, I think you have no choice but to work around him. That means a petition to bypass the rules panel. If a majority of the House votes for the petition, we can get that bill out of committee and onto the floor for a vote.
If I may interject, Mr. President, I don't think that the discharge petition is the proper way to proceed on this matter. There are quite a few members of the House who object to bypassing committees, so you might experience difficulty with the discharge petition. I would encourage you to use your persuasive talents to influence Congressman Ornelas to hold hearings on the bill. But of course, the decision is yours.
Indeed it is there, Arthur. The petition, however, can only succeed if we have a majority support of Congress to begin with, and if Congress is supporting it, then it will pass.
I'd like to go the discharge petition route. What do I need to do next?
I've given this some thought, Mr. President, and I suggest that you speak with Congressman Daniel Jordan. He's quite well liked on the Hill. I think he's the man to file this petition for us.
Another option is to ask Mark Deering. He's a first-term congressman, and I think he'd be willing to file this petition just because he was personally asked to do it by the president. Who would you like to speak with, sir?
Now, you are, could be right there, RGM. The important thing to know about this period, however, is that things were not quite as partisan at this time in the 1960s, meaning it actually turned out that the Republicans and the Democrats were more regional parties and less ideological in bent. And accordingly, you have many Democrats are actually more heavily concentrated in the South and are opposed to civil rights legislation. Accordingly, we're going to face a majority of our opposition from within my own Democratic Party. Therefore, I shall deputize Daniel Jordan for this task.
I'll talk to Daniel Jordan. Sam, can you set up a meeting for me?
Certainly, sir.
When you speak to the congressman, Mr. President, bear in mind that you can ask him to influence Ornelas if you change your mind about the petition.
I'll influence you, you dirty bastard.
I'll keep that in mind, Arthur. Now, if there's nothing else to discuss, I'd say that this meeting is adjourned.
And I'd say it's time to get back into our man cave. Okay, so if we did yellow, blue, red, actually the light C went on. Should we? What if we did red, yellow, blue in that order? Okay, so F goes on. Now what if we did yellow, blue, red? Would we get the other one on? Okay, I can't do the bottom ones. Only the top. All right, so do yellow, blue, red. Oh, that did not come on. Red, yellow, blue. Oh, I got a beep beep. All right, so justice? Do we type in justice? I don't know. Legal commands. What kind of terminal is this? I do not know how to use a computer. Invalid oh, it's time for a password? Oh, hang on there, hang on. Oh, we got in here. I don't know how it happened, but we got in. To the Federal Bureau of Investigation Electronic Messig. We got a SysOp subsystem. Security clearance is top secret. Undeleted electronic message transactions. We got here from December 23rd. From F. Linden. What? What is this I'm reading here? Let's select message number 1. T. Glaudel and F. Linden. Just talked to our guys in Texas. I gave them hell about the screw up. They're full of apologies. What good does that do us?
TTS pronunciation lesson, message.
Was it message or messig? Well, thank you very much, basshole, for those 100 bits. I don't know if it resulted in message or messig. The world may never know. Press any key to return to the list. Where's the any key? I see Catarol, Alt, Esc. There doesn't appear to be any key. Number 2, wanna. We have dinner reservations for 7:30 at Gracie's.
Play the fool.
Don't be late, says Susan. Is this at all relevant? Is it involving anybody else here? Number 3. Received your memo dated 11/29/63. Thanks for the update. Okay, this is not important, except for perhaps number 1. Who are we surveilling here? Okay, I gave him hell about the screw up. So it was a conspiracy. We have a Glaudel and a Linden. Okay. T. Glaudel and F. Linden. Could be suspects here. Whoops. Alright, let's hit exit to quit. Now let's try this other one here. We gotta flip these switches back down and then do yellow, blue, and red. Dot dot. Okay, the C is activated here. Now how do we go about typing our command? Spies. See, it's legal. How did I get this to work the last time? Oh, I see. Mail system is available. Now I can enter the password. Oh, we are into the Central Intelligence Agency. Electronic message. Subsystem. Security clearance is top secret. Undeleted electronic message transactions. Fort Archie. What are these F's going on here? Decontero F. Ochi. Oh, to and from. I see. So that explains quite a lot. There have been some great reactions to the anti-commercials in New York. Maybe they should be used in other large states. Anti-commercials? Are they referring to anti-JFA? It's time we got ourselves an airport in New York. Number 2. Hey, it's 5:30 on New Year's Eve and I'm still here at work. What is my problem? I need that report ASAP. Thanks, Carl. Well, I hope you got to celebrate there, Carl. Number 3. I can't wait to see the reception Kennedy gets in the South when he starts talking about civil rights. You are probably right there, Cantero. It is a reason for concern. Are you coming to the rally next Thursday night? I think it starts around 8 o'clock. Let me know if you're going. We can ride together. But this Ochi and Cantero may be friendly. Have we got the research on West Virginia yet, Chris? So, Chris Ochi versus... or no, Chris Cantero. Exit. Alright, so that doesn't seem as valuable as the other one did. Why can't I capitalize? Okay, so I guess good for now. Cool. Alright, let's go out. And then what is over here? There were 2. Okay, that was the combination we don't have yet. This goes back, I think, to the West Wing. Or the Oval Office. Alright, now there was like a safe here, right? So if we dress in this stuff... Let's see if we leave now. Now we're in the other clothes. Wait, what? Oh shoot, that costs time. We can't go in there. I guess we have to go here. Oh, so I can't go through that other door. Interesting. Ah, shit. So maybe I would have had time to go to the memorials. Fuck. How do I back up? Oh, we have a...
Mr. President, from what you're wearing, it looks like you're ready for a day off. So I've taken the liberty of rescheduling your appointment.
What appointment might that be?
Just one question, Harriet. How do you know what I'm wearing?
It's my job to know, Mr. President.
We'll say there now, Harriet. Have we also had an amorous relationship of which I am unaware? Still cannot break into Sam's drawer there. Beeping Harriet. Yeah, so I think what we want to do at some point when we have enough time is dress in the other clothes and then maybe go on that tour to those memorials. Cigarettes cause lung cancer, study shows. Fortunate Atlanta hotels will begin to admit Negroes. High court bans racial labeling on ballots. Well, that sounds like good news all around, except for the cigarettes.
News of disaster strikes again. The vacation you'll never forget. That's how the 11-day cruise from Britain to warmer climes was advertised, and that's definitely how it will be remembered, at least by the 894 survivors of the Laconia disaster. More than 100 others are dead or missing after a small fire that started in the barbershop quickly spread throughout the ship. Engulfed in flames from stem to stern, the Greek liner was ripped apart by a series of explosions set off by the heat of the fire. That's all the news for now, so until tomorrow, good night.
It seemed like a rather light day on news there. But we do have some boys. And I appear unable to pause my timer. Alright, Coconut 2 for Rendezvous with Rama. Yeah. Oh, okay. Moves out of Pennington Park in Cybercon 3 to V66. Oh, it's not showing, sorry. Alright, then Hoffman 2 for Star Trek 25th Anniversary. Moves out of Blue Forest and a Poisonous Koala. Up to V2. Miria 1 for Shivers 2. Moves ahead of Gateway 2 back to the top of the raffle queue. Ghost 1 for Willie Beamish out of Titanic to V7. Oh, Ghost 2 more for Willie Beamish out of Twinson's Odyssey and Space Quest V5. Servo 3 for Monty Python. Out of Noir, Inca, and Dare to Dream to R6. Alright, last call. Last call for buys. All right. I did not see Squeegee. Can you post the link again? Wait, who is Squeegee supposed to be again? Oh, wait. Oh, your dog? Ah, good pup. He's got similar coloring to Rufus on his chest there. Oh, your mom's dog. Nice, nice. Oh, so is that who... Oh, she. Is that who you're going to see at DFW when you fly in? Nice, very nice. Oh, I look forward to that. Meanwhile, we have another pupper out. Where is he? There he is, passed out over there. You can see one of his fly toy over there. He's passed out here. Just passed out. Oh, we have some stirring of movement there. Oh, whatever. Okay, there we go. Very much passed out. All right, ready to proceed to week 9? Looks like another campaign update.
Hello, Mr. President. How are you today?
I'd be better if you told me. Yeah, you better be direct there, Ross. Or if that is your real name.
Fine. What's on the agenda today?
I've been arranging your travel itinerary for the campaign. I know that you need time to fully recuperate, so I haven't planned anything until February. And from there, I scheduled through the middle of April.
Continue.
What have you come up with?
The itinerary is in the folder on your desk. I've tended to concentrate on states with the most electoral votes. Like you said in the last election, you want to be where the votes are. That's especially true right before a primary. So I've tried to schedule stops in states with critical primaries as well.
I think our domestic rating went up a notch. Yeah, exactly. Nice.
What do I need to do?
Well, you need to decide what will happen in each state. You can either give a speech or hold a fundraiser. If you choose to give a speech, just pick out a topic you want to discuss in that state.
Oh, this is mighty interesting here. Very interesting, in fact. I do recall some prior campaigns in Ohio and Nevada talked about tax reform. Mississippi, for example, I imagine would be interested in states' rights. Civil rights might be of less interest there. This might be interesting. New Hampshire is very important, more so than Iowa at this time in history. Fictional president I'd like to play a game about. Ooh, interesting. Well, we kind of played one about... did it have John? No, I guess it didn't have John Adams in it. That's true. Very good. Maybe might be interesting to play one about Calvin Coolidge, actually. Oh, man. Wait, Cal, are you in New Hampshire? Can we do this piecemeal? Okay, good, we can. So we don't want to talk about civil rights down in Mississippi, but maybe states' rights since they're interested in it. Yes, very interesting. In most of these other ones are northern states. I think they said Ohio was like tax reform, but at least in the past. Try that. Massachusetts might be more interested in civil rights, probably. We probably should do some fundraisers. Like New York probably has some money. We don't need to do 2 speeches in New Hampshire, so one of them should be a fundraiser. We probably don't want to bring up Vietnam because we're kind of trying to keep that on the down low. Wisconsin wants to know about Cuba. You're talking about Cuba? Well, what do you know about some of these state economies, actually? World peace, really? Foreign aid, education, communism, Berlin. I don't want to drum with. Oh, agriculture might be a good one for. Geez, Oklahoma, I guess. Well, they don't. No, that's more like oil drilling. That's more energy. Wisconsin probably actually has more agriculture because of cheese. We probably. How's the economy doing? Economy's probably doing okay. Yeah, let's have some fun. We'll talk about agriculture in Wisconsin. There must be some dairy farms there. Yes, bovine rights. Exactly. Polish extremism. Oh, that's cool, Cal. All right, so you're in New Hampshire. What would you like to know about? Yeah, let's poll a constituent here. Cow, cow, cow. What do you folks in New Hampshire want to hear about? Can I interest you in government spending or perhaps communism? I'm guessing talking about some of these negative Nancy type topics won't drum up a lot of interest. States' rights, really? I think that's of more interest in Mississippi. We'll do the economy over in Oklahoma, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Can we double up? I suppose we can. That is true. You are live free or die. Have very much an independent streak. It's a very compelling case. However, I'm recalling from the document that we read about Ohio being interested in tax reform and southern states being interested in states' rights. Probably should add one more fundraiser to the docket. I guess let's make it 3 in a row. They're in Michigan. Pennsylvania, we can add in... Actually, it's a good question. Where do they have, like, defense? Where are their, like, military bases? I know in Oklahoma has... I don't know if there are any in Michigan or Pennsylvania. Maybe something. Less here. I don't know why I'm taking so long on this. You know what? New Hampshire might be interested in civil rights, too. Illinois, kind of. Maybe. Perhaps. Texas joke. Nice. Yeah, I know Texas thinks of Oklahoma as like a poor man's wannabe Texas, kind of. Yeah, let's go civil rights. Let's see if we can drum up support in the north. Pennsylvania is always about like religious freedom. At least that's how it was founded. But should we do national? Let's throw in a national defense. Why not? Mix things up a bit. See how it goes. Maybe you're supposed to do United Nations in New York, but all right. Let's see how this goes. Oatmeal.
I've made my decisions. Thank you for your time, Ross.
Anytime, Mr. President. I'll see you later.
That wasted more than half our day. We only have 2 hours for some civil rights conversations.
Mr. President, Congressman Jordan is on his way in.
Good. I wanted a meeting with him. Daniel?
Hello, Mr. President.
Hello, Congressman.
Hi, Dan. How have you been?
Quite well, Mr. President. How about you?
Let's do some chit-chat, butter him up a bit.
Never better. How was your trip to Maine? Did you enjoy some of those fine lobsters while you were there?
The trip and the lobsters were wonderful. Thank you for asking. I just love New England.
What state do you represent, Dan? I'm afraid I'm a bit of an informational disadvantage here.
I do too. It's a wonderful place to live.
Is there something I can do for you, sir? I mean, I don't get invited to the White House every day, so I figured that you wanted to talk with me about something specific.
No, I just wanted to look at your beautiful mug there, Dan. That's really the source of my interest in you.
Dan, I need to speak with you about the Civil Rights Bill.
What can I do for you?
Submit the petition.
I'd like you to file a discharge petition that would get the bill out of the Rules Committee and onto the floor of the House.
You want to bypass the committee process? Don't you think that's a little risky, sir?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it's a little risky, but I think that it's important to move this bill along. If Congressman Ornelas won't hold hearings on the bill in his committee, then I'll just see to it that the bill doesn't stay in his committee.
All right, Mr. President. I'll file the petition.
End discussion. Yeah, this is probably going to backfire in our faces, quite honestly. Congress doesn't like it when you circumvent their procedures and processes.
Thanks, Dan. Have a good day.
Goodbye, Mr. President.
I was assured you were well liked on the Hill and could influence members in our favor. All right, we got about 2 hours here. I'm not sure if we're going to have time to go monument sightseeing. Oh, no, it took 2 hours just to get to the driveway on the front yard. 24th Amendment ratified bans poll tax. How come I was not notified about this, that this was underway? FTC proposes curbs on cigarette advertising. Twin Towers proposed for NY, New York, world's largest. Okay, now.
A British investigation of last week's Laconia disaster that killed more than 100 persons is pending after survivors reported defective lifeboats and the lack of emergency training. The captain denied the charges, saying there was no panic and that most emergency equipment was in good order. It's not Peter Pan, but the free flight 90-meter ski jump event is a spectacular favorite that draws the largest crowd of the 12-day Olympic meet. Over 70,000 gathered for this major event where top skiers jump the length of a football field with impeccable form that provides a thrilling climax to the 9th Winter Olympics. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Good night. What's with all these, like, we had plane crashes, now we have, like, boat crashes, there was the bus crash. Like, how come people, what's up with all these crashes? Jeez. Oh, man. All right, next day, or next week.
Mr. President, I'm sorry to have to bring this up again, but the problem with Panama just won't go away. President Herdia won't engage in discussions with the U.S. until we agree to negotiate a new treaty with Panama. He won't settle for an agreement to discuss the possibility. He wants a firm commitment. And I think that if he doesn't get one soon, he may just strike a deal with the communists. I'm afraid that we're in danger of losing Panama, Mr. President. Will you agree to negotiate a new treaty with Herdia?
Now say there, where is Arthur to advise us on this? I suppose we can't risk the communists getting control of the canal. However, it does concern me that we would lose face here were we to back down. That said, yes, I agree with Advok. We should be saving. In fact, it's been weeks since we've last saved. It's very difficult when things are ongoing to do that and to cut people off so that we might save. They throw you right into battle here.
Mr. President, I'm sorry to have to bring this up again, but the problem...
Yeah, I'm sorry you're doing it too. Where is Arthur?
President Herdia won't engage in discussions with the U.S. until we agree to negotiate a new treaty with Panama. He won't settle for an agreement to discuss the possibility. He wants a firm commitment. And I think that if he doesn't get one soon, he may just strike a deal with the communists. I'm afraid that we're in danger of losing Panama, Mr. President. Will you agree to negotiate a new treaty with Herdia?
Well, I suppose a treaty can be negotiated. It always just depends on the terms.
All right, Paul. This stalemate has gone on long enough. Inform President Herdia that I'll negotiate a new treaty with him.
I'll get right on it, sir.
Did you just roll your eyes at me there, Paul?
Good. I'll speak with you later, gentlemen.
What is our Secretary of Defense doing as our lead diplomat? That wasted half our day. Now we have no time for election conversations. Do we have more in our FBI file, or is it the same? Probably this is all probably the same. Oh, we have a poll coming in here. What? We're only 5336 over sharp. This is mighty concerning. Alright, here is our travel itinerary. We'll see how that goes. And our financials. how do I exit this folder? I do not desire to look at it any longer. Thank you. How can we make some calls here? Can we write some correspondence? Okay, back to the civil rights. How's it going with Jordan on the Hill?
Mr. President, Congressman Ornelas has just announced that he is going to hold hearings on the civil rights legislation beginning in 2 weeks.
Look at
the
this.
Attorney General called and said to tell you that Ornelas got wind of the discharge petition before Congressman Jordan filed it and figured he'd rather hold the hearings than be bypassed completely. Congratulations, sir.
Well, thank you there, Sean. I knew it was going to be a bold gambit, but it appears to have paid off. Paid off quite handsomely, I might add. Now that it's going to be actively discussed in Congress, we can firmly conclude that Congressman Ornelas here has backed down. I do believe this is a victory for civil rights in this country.
That's great news. Thank you for the update, Sean.
I don't know why that conversation took up 2 hours of our time, but nevertheless, I'm glad it occurred. Now, what can we do with this pittance of time? I know we can't visit a memorial. Maybe we can make a couple of telephone calls. Let's see here. I guess these, we might as well try faking. We didn't learn any new information with these eyewitnesses as the president. What if we tried a fake name with these people? Did it take 1 hour? Well, you know, I also have trouble with the telephone.
Hello? Hello, Mr. Alvarado. This is Kevin Brudeman with the Dallas Police. I have a few questions for you about what you saw in Dallas on November 22nd.
Bruderman? I don't know anyone named Bruderman. Why are you calling me?
Why aren't I calling you?
I'm with the Dallas Police, sir. I want to ask you some questions about the assassination attempt.
I've spoken with you guys before. I really don't have anything else to say.
Could you tell me if you remembered anything new?
I already told you I don't have anything to say. Now quit bugging me.
Now hang on there, Mr. Alvarado. You don't have anything new to say, given when we called as President Kennedy. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Balder. This is Kevin Brudeman with the Dallas Police.
It's true,
I have a few questions for you about what you saw in Dallas on November 22nd.
I've already given my statement to you people, but I'll try to help.
Thank you, sir.
Have you remembered anything else since you spoke with us?
I'm afraid not. I've gone over it 1,000 times in my mind, and I just can't seem to remember anything else. I'm sorry.
Would this $20 bill jog your memory a little bit?
That's all right, Mr. Balder. Thank you for your time. Goodbye.
Full joke.
Hello, Mrs. Dalton? This is Kevin Brudeman with the Dallas Police. I have a few questions for you about the assassination attempt on the president.
But I've already told the police everything I know.
I give up.
I understand that you've already been questioned, ma'am. But I was, just wondering if you remembered anything that you didn't tell the police before.
What are you wearing? Mrs. Dalton?
No. I've already said all I've got to say. Goodbye.
What yeah, patty pooper indeed. All right now, we want the FBI, I do believe so. Red, yellow, blue. Do we have any new messages? We do indeed. I need those letters by tomorrow, thanks. Connor says True Lutz. Who's in? Do you want to see the movie The Birds on Friday? I think that it's still playing in Bethesda, says Ken. Oh yeah, Alfred Hitchcock. Yeah, I'll go see that movie with you there. Looks like we have time to also look at the CIA messages. We must do, first let's reset these switches and then do yellow, blue, red. Howdy there, Echo. Boyds. And thank you for that host. Why is the mail system not accessible? Did I not get the light here? I did not. Yellow, blue, red. Oh, the C is not coming on. Something is suspect. Can you negotiate new treaty with Panama? Saturn launch with a record 10-ton payload and flooding in Illinois causes $1 million in damage.
For our final story, there's nothing amusing about this underwater Cincinnati amusement park, and ironically, the nearby River Downs racetrack has been washed away. Over 100,000 Midwesterners are being affected by the flooding Ohio River and its tributaries that are cresting over 60 feet. Appeals for federal aid are being made by the governors of those states most affected by the awesome forces of this natural disaster. So until tomorrow, good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Majuscule? It's the opposite of minuscule. February 8th. Oh, well, look at this. It looks like our international approval rating has gone up a tad here. Our superpower rating, even though we were a little bit bested here at coming to the negotiating table.
Ma middle.q large lettering, either capital or uncial, in which all the letters are the same height. Insular majuscule script.
Ah, well, look at that there, Basshole. You learn something new every day. Alright, it seems like it's been a long time since we discussed Vietnam. Let's do it.
Yes, Paul, what is it?
Sir, we have preliminary reports of a terrorist bombing in Saigon. A stadium used exclusively by U.S. servicemen and their families.
Continue there, Paul.
Go on, Paul.
Yes, sir. The two devices, probably U.S.-made aerial fragmentation grenades, exploded separately under the bleachers during a softball game.
How many people were killed there?
Casualties?
Yes, sir. 2 servicemen dead and another 20 injured. 3 in serious condition.
Well, it could have been a lot worse there, Paul. Aren't we to consider ourselves lucky?
Any indication who may have set it up?
Sir, we have reason to believe communist terrorists may have been behind it.
Yeah, that doesn't take a great leap of faith there to come to that conclusion there, James.
What makes you think so, Jim?
The Viet Cong raided a supply depot at Bien Ho Saturday. Among the munitions taken were several cases of these fragmentation bombs.
Any idea how they were placed in the stadium?
Although used exclusively by U.S. military personnel, Pershing Stadium is not technically a part of the military apparatus there, and as such is not secured.
What can we do?
I'd say hit 'em hard, sir. We have solid evidence of a Red-controlled village just over the Cambodian border north of Tay Ninh. Our reconnaissance shows what we believe to be a munitions stockpile there.
Given a few days, we could work a similar attack with operatives in Hanoi, sir, although it may jeopardize our work there. Also, there is a possibility we could locate the culprits through our network. They are undoubtedly fleeing into the countryside as we speak.
Or we could do nothing.
Is there a rationale for doing nothing? Retaliation seems like a slippery slope, but denouncing the action seems like no action at all. But I suppose if we are publicly against it, is this out there in the is this out there in the press? We want to be careful that we are not putting boots on the ground here.
Paul, have Fred prepare a statement denouncing the action as a cowardly attempt to sway U.S. resolve.
I'll get right on it, sir. The papers will have it by press time tonight.
And transmission.
Good. This meeting is adjourned.
All right. I would like to experiment with taking these clothes out into the mall here. Oh, not where I meant to go. I hope that doesn't... Well... Now we have to try going out with our normal clothes.
Hello, sir. Where to today?
Take us over to the Jefferson Memorial there, Sydney.
The Jefferson Memorial.
Certainly, sir.
Well, hello there, Lester and Honda. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, and among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men. We solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent states. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. Was that really all that was to be seen there? I do wonder why this was even included, unless we are having a...
Where would you like to go, Mr.
romantic tryst rendezvous at the Washington Monument.
The Washington Monument.
Certainly, sir.
I again wonder where the Secret Service is. Yes, I am convinced we must be meeting here in secret in our presidential disguise.
Hello, Mr. President. Where would you like to go?
Let's step off at the FBI.
The FBI building.
We'll be there shortly, sir.
Not soon enough, apparently. Viet Cong are cowards, says President Kennedy. Kennedy campaigns at home, Massachusetts. Ranger 6 hits, fails to transmit moonshots. TV.
And now for our final story. The first signs of spring were not very welcome in Southern California, where March winds brought raging fires instead of April showers. Santa Ana winds blowing in from the desert at 70 to 100 miles per hour snapped power lines and sparked powder dry brush. Flames spread throughout Glendale and Burbank, 12 miles north of downtown Los Angeles. Many owners were able to save their homes by wetting down the roofs of their houses.
Wow.
So until tomorrow, good night, ladies and gentlemen.
And the more things change, the more they say the same. Something like that. We only advanced 2 days here. Well, right now, looks like we have a full day for ourselves here. Shall we check in on the legislation, or I guess campaigning is also important. That's the name of the game, literally.
Hello, Mr. President.
Hello. What are you saying there?
The FCC requires that every candidate be given equal time to present his views. And I mean every candidate, including some kook who advocates disbanding the entire government. The TV stations just can't afford it.
And the only reason you could debate Mr. Nixon in 1960 was because the FCC rules were suspended as an experiment. It doesn't look like that will happen again.
You must respond. Oh yes, thank you there, Bombast. It's week 11. Yes, I personally liked the Idlewild Airport. Oh yes, maybe we should replay the audio.
Hello, Mr. President.
No, he seems to be talking silently. It would
the FCC requires that every candidate be
Again?
given equal time to present his views.
Hello, Mr. President.
candidate. Soon.
Hello, Mr. President. We were just discussing... Hello, Mr. President. Hello, Mr. President. We were just discussing the possibility of debates between the presidential candidates, and we don't think there are going to be any during this campaign.
The FCC requires that every candidate be given equal time to present his views. And I mean every candidate, including some kook who advocates disbanding the entire government. The TV stations just can't afford it.
Candidate.
And the only reason you could debate Mr. Nixon in 1960 was because the FCC rules were suspended as an experiment. It doesn't look like that will happen again.
Chowder.
I wouldn't have won without those debates.
Actually, the whole thing works in your favor, Mr. President. In 60, you were running against the Vice President. He was much more well-known than you were. Sharing a stage with him made you appear as equals. Now you don't want to allow anyone to appear equal with you.
Fred's right. You were in the driver's seat for this election. Why allow anyone to appear equal to the president? Besides, what if you were asked about something that could compromise the security of the United States? You'd be forced to lie. Any way you look at it, this works in your favor.
Continue there, Bobby.
All right. You've convinced me. Let's move on.
That's all we need to discuss, sir.
There wasn't any discussion or decision-making. That was an update. Next time, write a memorandum. I don't know that we need 7 high-paid government officials in one room to not make any decisions.
Good. I'll see you all later.
Good. Good. Yeah, so I'm still wondering, like, how do we, with the whole assassin thing, how do we further that along? I think if we click, you know what, we should try clicking on that the next day. We'll save and then we'll try clicking on it to see what happens. Because they said in the manual that's like when you're ready to accuse someone. We have a profile of someone, but I don't know how to like investigate that Dallas stuff. Like, Literally, mechanically, I don't know how to do that. Like, are we calling? I called the FBI, but that didn't work. Maybe we should just go to the FBI. I suppose we could do that. All right, yeah, let's go get the clothes. Although she didn't let us leave last time, but I guess we could try it. We still need it. Ah, damn it. Application error. All right, that's the second time that's happened. Okay. Game over, you know what? This actually could be a good experiment since we have to restart from the start of the day. I'm curious to see. Well, A, as we said, what happens if we click on the scales of justice, and then B, I'm actually curious if we punt the election or campaign talk for a week. Would that mean we would have a different campaign topic? Like, are the individual like topics tied to the week that you choose, or are they just pushed back but the same events occur? That would be very interesting. Yes, that is a great shame. I saw at the Jefferson Memorial. I'm afraid of the Oxford Comma myself, actually. All right, so instead of doing the campaign, let's try this. What happens?
Hi, Jack. Who's responsible for the shooting?
Oh my God! So we actually have to. Okay, so it is. You have to choose a person. It could be General Thomas Ballard. That'd be hilarious. Wow! So you can choose members of your own cabinet. That's incredible. Okay, so we do want to choose this for later at the end. Got it. All right. So these are some of the people that we're surveilling too. Lutz, Cantero. So who is the one? Glaudel and Linden, right? So it could be Linden. Let's just choose it. It might be a death, but let's actually choose what happens. Let's say it's Alan Linden. We can even choose our limo driver. That's great. It's like everyone who's been mentioned. Okay, Susan Wernert. Let's see what happens, Linden. Because I think it was from and to. Wait, was it to and from? I think it was to Jeff Glaudel from Alan Linden. Let's try
Alan Linden.
Is that his real name?
Yes. Or no, it could be Juggernaut. I don't know. Let's say alias.
No, that's an alias.
What's his real name?
Oh, God, really? Okay. This is actually interesting because it helps us figure out what we actually need to do. His real name is Alan Linden.
Alan Linden.
Why did he do it?
Love, really? Out of love, he tried to assassinate us.
For power.
Is anyone else involved?
Yes.
Yes.
Glaudel.
Jeff Glaudel.
Is that his real name?
Yes.
Yes, as far as I know.
Why did he do it?
For love.
For love.
Is anyone else involved?
No.
No.
Can you prove this, or is it mere suspicion?
Bobby, shouldn't this be your job?
I can prove this, Bobby.
Well, Mr. President, you seem to have established probable cause, but I'm not totally sold on this theory. I can get an arrest warrant based on what you've told me, or you could do some more research. What do you want to do?
Yeah, get the warrant.
I'm pretty confident about this one, Bobby. I'd like you to get an arrest warrant.
I'll get right on it.
Okay, so we need to know, Two held in JFK shooting. Police have 2 men in custody that believe are responsible for attempting to assassinate President Kennedy. Alan Linden and Jeff Glaudel, both employees of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, were arrested last night on attempted murder and conspiracy charges. Inside sources say that
This
the president
guy
himself
is
accused these two men as well as others. No other suspects were named by the police. Lindell and Glaudel both denied any involvement. Okay, so that conversation could have been... Where things went bad is with... I thought it was a reference to, oh, they went bad with the attempted murder, meaning the murder failed. But I guess it means that they didn't, like, capture the guys. They're FBI people.
Mr. President, I can't believe the kind of press you're getting from your accusation. Please, for the sake of the election, don't make any more accusations.
Whoops.
Ross, somebody tried to kill me. Do you expect me to let them get away with it? What makes you think they won't try again?
I understand completely, sir, and you're right. But could you at least have a little more evidence next time?
No, I cannot.
Goodbye, Ross.
Goodbye, sir.
Alright, I was just experimenting. I didn't mean to do all that stuff. Okay. Can we restore now, or is the game over? Oh, it could be game over. Oh, no, it's not. Interesting. Okay. That's good to know. Restore the game. So we're like, the FBI and CIA just were actually monitoring the communications within the FBI and CIA. I thought it was, whoa, why did our domestic approval sink? Well, it makes sense if it was based on this, but, hang on here. But we restored, so shouldn't that have reset? Oh, new game first? Oh, okay. Fair enough. It did plummet, as it turns out.
Hello.
So you can only restore a game from a new game. You can't restore a game from a game that's like real in progress. Okay, good. All right, so I guess we just go back into the campaign talk. Now we're gonna have to wait through this, unfortunately.
Hello, Mr. President.
The whole debates conversation.
The FCC requires that every candidate be given equal time to present his views. And I mean every candidate, including some kook who advocates disbanding the entire government. The TV stations just can't afford it.
And the only reason you could debate Mr. Nixon in 1960 was because the FCC rules were suspended as an experiment. It doesn't look like that will happen again.
What FCC rules were there in 1956 that allowed equal time? There was no televised debate in 1956. That's the power of love. That's the power of love.
I wouldn't have won without those debates.
Actually, the whole thing works in your favor, Mr. President. In 60, you were running against the vice president. He was much more well-known than you were. Sharing a stage with him made you appear as equals. Now you don't want to allow anyone to appear equal with you.
Fred's right. You were in the driver's seat for this election. Why allow anyone to appear equal to the president? Besides, what if you were asked about something that could compromise the security of the United States? You'd be forced to lie. Any way you look at it, this works in your favor.
All right. You've convinced me. Let's move on.
That's all we need to discuss, sir.
Yeah, but why was there equal time rule to begin with when there had never been any TV debates in the past?
Good. I'll see you all later.
Good. Oh, radio debates? Really? Okay. Interesting. All right. I don't know how we're going to follow up on these Dallas leads. Are we allowed to travel to Dallas? I don't think so. That's just our notebook, right? Yeah. And then this was the... Oop, the Straken... No, stop. Straken stuff. Camel. He never researched the camel, though, unfortunately. Is this the guy with the kooky eyelashes? How come we can't zoom in? So that's Dealey Plaza. That's the County Records building, and that's the unknown guy. Okay. You know what we should do is we should write down the tough to pass. We should write down the accusations. Now, what do we need to know? Who was involved in assassination? We need to know aliases, and we need to know motives. Okay. All right, let's get out of here. All right, so maybe we could go back down to the FBI. I don't think we have enough time to grab the clothes. Probably not. All right, let's talk to the FBI again to see if there's anything. Man, even just walking out the front to the car takes like
Hello, sir. Where to today?
an hour.
The FBI building.
Certainly, sir.
By the time we get there, it's gonna be the end of the day. Look at this. Oh no, we made it. Nice.
Hello, Mr. President. Back again.
Yes. Ignore you.
The director isn't in, sir.
Oh, I think he's in.
Then I'll just wait for him in his office.
I'm sorry, sir. You can't do that. I'm not allowed to let anyone into his office when he isn't here.
Are you serious? I'm the fucking president. He works for me, toots. Now, listen here, Catherine.
Mr. President!
Catherine. Oh, is this how you're going to get back at us, Catherine? Gonna throw a director player 4.0 error at us?
Game over, man. It's game over.
Oh, man. You win, Catherine. You win. Oh, my God. Yeah. She had the last laugh on that one.
Should have insisted.
Oh, man. Can you imagine if, like, the receptionist at an agency building was like, "No, Mr. President, you cannot." Like, she was like, she had some real attitude there, too. We're gonna have to do that election talk for the third time. Oh, shit. No, don't. New game.
Hello, Mr. President.
Fucking Catherine. Alright. Note to self, don't ignore Catherine. She is vengeful and has the power to ruin our day.
Hello, Mr. President.
The FCC requires that every candidate be given equal time to present his views. And I mean every candidate, including some kook who advocates disbanding the entire government. The TV stations just can't afford it.
And the only reason you could debate Mr. Nixon in 1960 was because the FCC rules were suspended as an experiment. It doesn't look like that will happen again.
I wouldn't have won without those debates.
Actually, the whole thing works in your favor, Mr. President. In 60, you were running against the vice president. He was much more well-known than you were. Sharing a stage with him made you appear as equals. Now you don't want to allow anyone to appear equal with you.
Fred's right. You were in the driver's seat for this election. Why allow anyone to appear equal to the president? Besides, what if you were asked about something that could compromise the security of the United States? You'd be forced to lie.
Oh, man.
Any way you look at it, this works in your favor.
All right, you've convinced me. Let's move on.
That's all we need to discuss, sir.
Good. I'll see you all later.
Good. So if the FBI director's not there, all right, let's try our experiment about wearing the clothes and like. Ah, shit! I keep hitting the wrong thing. God damn it! I need to hit the bookcase. Just wasted valuable time. All right, 1935. When are we going to conduct our illicit affairs? Oh, I didn't want to go in here either. God damn it. Ah, I totally wrecked all of this. I wonder what we think the, how do I get out of here? Hello? How can I turn around? Please. The Alchemist Alcove?
Mr. President, from what you're wearing, it looks like you're ready for a day off. So I've taken the liberty of rescheduling your appointment.
Okay, so I think what that means is we have to sneak out through that 3-digit code door. Got it. Okay. Huh. Alright.
Just one question, Harriet. How do you know what I'm wearing?
It's my job to know, Mr. President.
Man, these like secretaries and receptionists are like, oh man, completely controlling our life here. Terrible. Alright, so I think we need to get that 3-digit combination for that other door. Not sure how we're gonna go about that. Is there any sort of reference? This is the love note. That was the campaign. Yeah. Tax reform in Ohio. Agriculture. Oh, look at this. There was agriculture in Wisconsin. All right. We remember that well. That's good. Buttons on his S for Tang. Interesting. Good. Maybe Ford. Who knows? Hey, mediocrities. Director player for nowhere. Oh man. Alright, so I don't think there's anything we can really do other than How are we gonna get that 3-digit combination? Actually, remember there were those other buttons on that panel? I want to see what those are. I don't know if we're gonna have time, but what is this all about? So there are 3 buttons here. There are 3 buttons on the other thing. This thing does not move. Maybe these are like proxies for the red, yellow, blue? Oh, there's a green light. Not one there. So what if we did this, this, this? Okay, I saw 3 green lights, so right, left, center. We have to do that here too. Right, left, center. Oh, yes. Are we gonna blow up the White House? Okay, it's 350 degrees. Okay, so maybe that's the password to get out of here. Interesting. Okay, we have our clothes. So go here. 350. Interesting. Oh, look at that! Look at this. Nice. Most recent game was from 2003? I think it was one of the text adventures. Was it Varicella? No, Slouching Towards Bedlam was 03. Varicella was, what, 97, I think? Or was it 04? Should be on the completed games list. Alright, we have here an underground tunnel, which we're going to be meeting Marilyn at. Although we have no time. Oh, here is our cab waiting us.
Where can I take you?
You can take me to our rendezvous at the Lincoln Memorial, I suppose.
The Lincoln Memorial.
No problem.
The only problem here is we haven't made any arrangements with Marilyn. Alright, but the good news is we now know the code to the door. It's 350. We solved that puppy. Next up, we're going to have to break into our Chief of Staff's desk drawer. JFK discusses states' rights in Mississippi, gets cheers. Look at this. We discussed a popular topic. That should help us in the polls, I would hope. The Beatles have arrived in the U.S. to massive crowds, and the Canadian gold medal, an upset in the four-man bob. Okay, let's pay attention here to any changes in our approval rating.
And for what's happening in Vietnam, U.S. Special Forces in South Vietnam use helicopters to bring materials to a 3,000-foot peak, the first step in establishing a radio relay station for headquarters to keep in touch with remote outposts. The top of the mountain is a Buddhist temple, where the monks have allowed the communications station to be anchored. So until tomorrow, good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Good night. Aww. Our approval rating did not increase. Nevertheless, we shall save our progress for week 12 here. One might always hope for bourgeois. So never you fear their bomb burst. Alright, now back to Vietnam.
Hello, gentlemen. What's on the agenda?
Sir, I'd like to start, if I may. I think we need to reconsider the decision to remain advisory in Vietnam.
No, I'm angry with you there, Paul. We do not want to get involved any further.
Haven't I made my position clear, Paul? You know as well as I do that it's always easier to get into a war than to get out of one. I see no reason to rush headlong into a conflict.
Of course, sir. But if we are to stop the communists in Vietnam, it is imperative we step up support for the South Vietnamese.
Continue there, Paul.
Go on, Paul.
The communists are continuing their build-up on the Ho Chi Minh Trail and have also stepped up activity in Cambodia and Laos. Munitions and men are literally pouring into South Vietnam down the Mekong River.
Impatient there, Paul.
Get to the point, Paul.
We believe Cambodia and Laos not only allow arms shipments through their countries, but are involved directly in supply. Every day we do nothing, they grow bolder. We must act.
Please summarize. That was too detailed for me, apparently.
So you advocate increased military spending for Vietnam and combat roles for our troops. Is that correct, Paul?
Yes, sir, it is.
Mr. President, there is another option.
Yes, Bobby?
Let's hear it, Bobby.
I wonder if a communist takeover can be resisted with this or any other government in Saigon. Maybe it's time to consider whether our presence in Vietnam really serves any purpose, and if so, if those goals are attainable through military action.
We know they are not there, Bobby.
Bobby, are you suggesting we consider a pullout?
Yes, that is precisely what I am suggesting. We don't have the support of the vast majority of the Vietnamese people themselves, not to mention wavering support here at home.
This is ludicrous. Do you have any idea what we would be giving up with a pullout?
Yes, we would give up on this undeclared war before it becomes official. We would bring those men home alive.
I agree, sir. I think a phased pullout, something between 6 months and a year, is worth serious consideration.
Finally, our Secretary of State is saying something.
What do you want to do, Mr. President?
Well, I always know it's tough to pull out when you're in the heat of the moment. However, that said, we don't want an unwanted baby now, do we? Let's get risky here with a phase pullout.
I agree with Bobby. We should pull our men out of there before it's too late. Issue a statement, Fred. Now, this meeting is adjourned.
And this will give us more time to concentrate on the other matters at hand. Definitely going to see if this hits our poll numbers here at home. Perhaps we should have played it up the middle, but only time will tell. Alright, buys. Rex 3-4. Danik. Moves out of Twinson's Odyssey to V7. And Sting 3-4. Police Quest 4. Moves out of Heart of China. Woodruff and the Schnibble. Journeyman Project. Into the top 10 at R10. Alright, last call for buys. Oh, yeah, that's a smart move. Not a bad decision there. He also probably got some of his college paid for that way, right? All right. So I guess we can now. We know the disguise works, but if we haven't made plans to meet anyone, I'm not sure how additionally that will help us. So in the remaining time, we could, I guess, review some more messages. But I feel like there's more we have to do in some of these other offices. So like, what can we do there? We have the desk drawer, which we can't open, right? We have to find the key to that. If we go this way, okay, that's back there. Oh no, don't want to go there yet. How come we haven't seen any of these other, like, advisors? We did see Chanel Casey, to be fair. Elizabeth Jancy. Yeah, we read that already. Oh, we should have done the UN in New York City. Can we change that, actually? Can we change our campaign speeches? Oh, I don't think we can. But just because the UN is in New York City doesn't mean that, like, New York voters care that much about the UN, such that you would dedicate a speech to it. So that seems kind of odd. Brad Evans. That's the cabinet room. What is this? Oh, that's his desk. I see. Okay, so it's the same thing. And this goes to the cabinet room. Got it. Okay. Yeah, it's weird that you can explore here when there's, like, really not that much to do. Alright, how do we go to the end of the day? Oh, like this. Oh, yeah, it's very fortunate. Very good one. Mediocrities. He starved himself? Oh, wow. To get out of it. Interesting. Yeah, there you go, Honda. Thank you. You just reiterated my, yes, my suspicion. Thank you. Or validated, I mean to say. Kennedy calls it quits in Vietnam. Troops out. All right, I'm really curious to see how that changes both the domestic and international ratings. President swings through Ohio on campaign tour. I guess what our chosen topic was not received that well. Subatomic particle found in nuclear physics. How about that? Okay.
And now for celebrities in the news. As Beatle popularity continues to grow worldwide, they are honored everywhere they go. With one more British Showbiz Award, here they are honored at the Dorchester Hotel, where many other crowned princes have dined before them. Now for the sports news. The undefeated UCLA Bruins came roaring into Kansas City to take on the Duke Blue Devils for the National Collegiate title. And roar they did, as Gail Goodrich chalked up 27 points by himself, giving the Bruins 30 straight victories to rank them among the great teams of all time. So until tomorrow, good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Good night. All right, let's see how we do.
Mr. President, a situation has developed on the coast of Florida that I think you should know about. 4 Cuban fishing boats have been found in our territorial waters, and we have reason to believe they may have been sent by Cuba's Premier Lopez.
So it seems like
we as an act of aggression by
we went down internationally, I guess by our allies or something. However, there was no effect domestically. Wow, strange credulity there. That wouldn't have changed opinions one way or another. It's kind of a big move, no? Oh, are they? Wait, is that the one with like Katie Holmes and whatnot? True, we were only advisors, but still, like it was front page news and it was a pullout. We're supposed to be like popular on the home front because of that.
Mr. President, a situation has developed on the coast of Florida that I think you should know about. 4 Cuban fishing boats have been found in our territorial waters, and we have reason to believe they may have been sent by Cuba's Premier Lopez. I view this as an act of aggression by Cuba. I think we should respond.
I agree with Tom. We've been here before with the missile crisis, and we found that it pays off to stand up to Lopez. I say we arrest the sailors on those 4 boats and see how Cuba reacts.
Agreed. What are other comments? No, I don't want to do that. Oh, documentary. There is one, I guess that would have, I think that was on like the Real Network or something. Okay. Maybe that'll make it to Netflix the way the Decades did.
That sounds like the right idea, Jim. I'm tired of Lopez's antics. Arrest those sailors.
I'll have the Coast Guard seize the boats, sir.
And meaning.
Good. Thank you for your time, gentlemen.
Gentlemen.
Mr. President, Senator Decker's on the warpath about your decision to pull out of Vietnam. He's been on the Hill all day ranting and raving about how you're soft on communism. I'm sure he's using this as a way to garner votes for the presidential election. Would you like to respond to his accusations?
What accusations? Do we want to respond? Not really. It's kind of giving him credence. I'm gonna say no.
No. If I respond to Decker, it will make him look influential.
Yeah.
I don't want people to think that I'm worried about what Decker says.
I see your point, sir.
End discussion.
Thank you for keeping me updated, Sean.
Oh, that was it? The whole day? Jeez. We didn't get time to do anything. President orders Cuban fishing boat seized. Kennedy on campaign trail in Oklahoma. Clay wins world heavyweight. How are we now? Oh, all right. I guess it's 8 hours through the week. Clay wins world heavyweight title and upset. Okay. Cassius Clay?
On the international news front, the United States ambassador to Japan, Edwin O. Reischauer, was stabbed by a young Japanese man who scaled the embassy compound wall in Tokyo. The ambassador was rushed to the hospital with a deep thigh wound and loss of blood and is now out of danger. The 19-year-old assailant with a long record of mental illness was quickly subdued. Japan offered their apologies quickly, but the ambassador expressed the hope that the incident would be forgotten. That's all for tonight's news, but remember, same time, same place, and same station tomorrow.
Why were we not briefed on this international incident by our Secretary of State, Arthur? Alright, hang on. How come my, oh wow, what? Oh, that's why. Alright, so this is, what did they say it was March 13th or something? Wait, what day is it? March 3rd, was it? Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. Okay.
Mr. President, the situation with Cuba has escalated. Premier Lopez is angry about our arrest of those Cuban sailors that were in U.S. waters. He's retaliated by cutting off the water supply to our naval station at Guantanamo. He says he won't resume the flow of water until the sailors have been released.
Okay, so our international standing actually did go down now a notch, even though as our domestic one went up.
Not only that, Mr. President, but a statement was issued from Havana calling the arrests an act of international piracy.
Look, the Cubans will say anything at this point. They've hated our presence on that island for 60 years, ever since we signed the treaty to lease naval bases from them. We've got a perpetual lease on the land in their country, and they don't like it. Lopez wants us out of Cuba, and he's going to do anything to make it happen. I say to hell with him. We can get our own water.
Respond.
What have you got in mind, Jim?
They've already implemented Rationing Plan Alpha on the base at Guantanamo. Alpha limits the use of water for personal reasons to 3 hours a day. Right there, that saves us 1.5 million gallons of water per day. We've got enough water on the base to last 12 days.
Besides, we can ship water in from places like Florida, Puerto Rico, Jamaica. We really should have a supply of water that's independent of Cuba anyway. You know we can't depend on Lopez.
That's the situation, Mr. President. We can't leave naval personnel and their families on the base without water. Either we give in to Lopez's threats and let the sailors go, or we work out our own water supply system and stay on the naval base. What would you like to do?
Well, it sounds like we have water available from other sources, so let's use our water.
I won't give up the base on Guantanamo. So it looks like the only thing to do is create our own water supply.
I couldn't agree more, sir. Now, there's also the issue of the 2,500 Cubans who work on the base. As I'm sure you're aware, Cuba requires these workers to exchange the American dollars we pay them for pesos every night.
The point is, sir, Cuba is benefiting from our presence there, and at the same time they're hostile to us. What I think Paul is driving at is that we should require those workers to spend their money on the naval base and not in Cuba. Do you agree?
No, I do not. The amount of money we're talking about here for 2,500 low-paid workers is not going to drastically alter the Cuban economy. Further antagonizing the Cubans by forcing their labor to spend it on our bases is likely to escalate the situation on a matter of which is of low importance to our interests. May you repeat the question so I know whether to say yes or no?
I won't give up the base on Guantanamo. So it looks like the only thing to do is create our own water supply.
I couldn't agree more, sir. Now, there's also the issue of the 2,500 Cubans who work on the base. As I'm sure you're aware, Cuba requires these workers to exchange the American dollars we pay them for pesos every night.
The point is, sir, Cuba is benefiting from our presence there, and at the same time they're hostile to us. What I think Paul is driving at is that we should require those workers to spend their money on the naval base and not in Cuba. Do you agree?
No.
No, I don't agree with that. I don't think we should do anything to further antagonize Lopez. Let's just go about our business on the base as usual.
Of course, Mr. President. That's all we have to discuss.
Why do you say it like that, General?
Excellent. I'll speak with you all later. Thank you.
All right, we have... is there still stuff to discuss about Vietnam? Apparently so, and we have time to do it.
Hello, Mr. President. We need to review the memorandum I placed in the file on your desk.
Who are you? You're Eric Pilot, the White House aide? This is the first time hearing of you, and what's going on with your hands? That's a bit creepy there, man. Watch your hands. They're like freakishly long. Look at these fingers. Look at him go. That's the longest middle finger I ever seen.
Okay, Eric. What's it about?
As per your recent policy decision, it sets the troop withdrawal rate for Vietnam. You can approve the number recommended in the memo, or you can adjust the number to your liking.
All right, well, thank you there, Eric. Pull-out rate revision. Current troop reduction per quarter is 0. Recommended pull-out rate is 4,000. Please select the desired pull-out rate. 4,000 is about right. That takes our drawdown 1 year because we had 16,000 troops there. So I will agree with that rate of decline. I'm finished, but Eric, you really should have someone look into your hand there. I mean, look how long this finger is.
There it is, Eric. Put it through.
I'll do it, and may I say it's quite a bold decision, sir.
Yes, you may, Eric. Be lighthearted about it.
Bold? Huh. Or do you mean foolish?
Either way, sir, I'm behind you 100%. I'll let you get on with your day.
You sound rather sycophantic there, Eric. A true advisor would give us his real opinion on the matter. I can get my grandmama to tell me what I want to hear. Alright, we have a couple of hours here. Let's see if we can make a telephone call. I'm guessing Gordon Tompkins is going to say the same thing as usual. Nothing? Gotta hand it to you.
Tompkins, FBI.
I'm actually curious, what does he say if you use a fake name?
Hello, Detective Tompkins. This is Kevin Brudeman, reporter with the Examiner.
I wish you guys would quit calling me. I don't talk to the press.
Okay, so not much of anything. Alright, let's call him again, but this time with our real name. Oh, no, we can't call him now. Shit. I really don't know about the discovering the... I don't know how we're supposed to make progress on... Do we have all the information we need to finger somebody? I guess you're supposed to monitor the communications. It seems like I guess that's what you're supposed to do. Alright, let's see if we have time for that. Yeah, he loves that name, Kevin Brudeman. Alright, we haven't looked at the CIA one in a while. Yellow, blue, red. Pop up. What the heck? Whatever. Spies. Rufus. Alright, so we got 3 more calls here. Or messages. Undeleted. Why do they automatically delete? This is from Ghetto to Cook. Don't forget your anniversary is tomorrow. I've ordered some flowers to be sent to your wife and made dinner reservations at Gracie's for 8 o'clock. Jean. Or Jeannie. That Cassius Clay is something. I can't believe he's the new world heavyweight champ from Rob. Rob, what's the story in Iowa? What are the citizens concerned about there? Anything besides farming? It's a just question, but why are we not getting any substantive communiques here? Yes, Nox, I do believe this is a reason for concern. There may be concern over farming, but certainly not dairy farming. I suppose we have time to monitor the FBI communiques as well. It's red, yellow, blue. Look, if we can just get rid of him, we'll have it made. If we make Van Owen happy, we can get whatever we want. It's all about power, my friend. Oh, it looks like Lyndon and Gardell are up to no good once again. Get rid of whom, is my question. My instincts were right about these two. Alright, now we're getting somewhere, perhaps. So, Lyndon, where did we write down these names? Oh, I guess we removed them. And I'm wondering whether Van Owen is behind this as well. So the question becomes, who is him? Yes, I'm free for lunch next Wednesday. How does 12:30 sound? We're going to do a stakeout here. Anta to Fayron. Happy Valentine's Day, sweetie. I love you, says Ken. Oh, so Ken Law is banging Susan Wernet. It would appear. This is very vital information. U.S. to withdraw. Vietnam advisors. President sets NAM pull-out plan. JFK's in New Hampshire before the primary. Let's watch the TV.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Here's tonight's top story. The U.S. Maddox and the Sea Turner Joy continue patrolling international waters off the shores of North Vietnam. Special forces are monitoring communist aggression as the president considers various options on what to do in the Vietnam situation.
Yeah, he's already considered them.
That's all the news for now, so until tomorrow, good night.
This news appears to be out of date. We've already considered those options. All right, March 15th. Let's get a save in here. Well, howdy there, Big Red. For our summary, I'm afraid I cannot do that. However, we have, I believe, just concluded tonight's activities. Whoa, Rufus. Alright, he's eating his yak tree, I suppose. Yeah, so I guess we're going to have to call it there. But a decent chance we could have a perhaps an afternoon stream tomorrow. Although not in the evening, but in the afternoon, perhaps. So this was good. I think good progress. We obviously made progress on definitely in the civil rights legislation. It seems like at least that's now openly being discussed in Congress. Vietnam, we've pulled out, but we'll have to see how that affects our election chances. Coconut, thank you for the 47 bits. And then with the campaign, I guess it's a little bit too early to say. Obviously, we are actively campaigning, but we'll have to see how the primary season goes. I don't know if they've come up with a schedule about that. And Basil, thank you for the 47 bits. Yeah, definitely it's entertaining. The one area where I feel like we have very little progress is fingering the shooter or shooters. And Coconut, thank you for the 3 bits. So yeah, we'll see. We'll continue this hopefully tomorrow. If not, probably maybe sometime Friday-ish. the bit war continues. Thank you, Coconut. Or the 50 bits. Rufus is chowing down. Oh, this is great. So Sharpie's playing Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. I think the yeah, it's the Master System version of that. So that, how can we not host him up? So that is what we will do. We'll give a bonus Cedric. Yeah, he's having a blast over there. Indeed he is. Oh, do you have that version, Ghost? The actual cart? That's really cool. Oh, thank you, Big Red, for the 15 bits.
Alright, and that does it for day 2 of Reelect JFK. Our domestic poll rating is up. But will it translate into votes? We shall see. Hopefully we get to primary season next time around. So thanks everybody as always for watching. Have a great rest of your Tuesday night. I'll see you next time right here on the DOS Adventure Quest.